Just a couple of days ago, we spoke about how dangerous the Brooklyn Nets were and that they were the most dangerous eighth seed ever because Kyrie had a 50-point game and KD had a 50-point game, and then they blew out the Philly. And they went one better yesterday with Kyrie Irving getting a 60-point game in probably one of the better performances of the season all time. I mean, you saw Cat drop 60 the other day, and he followed that up immediately the next day with another 60-point game. That is incredible. Kyrie has been one of the most discussed players on a podcast, and in most cases, we've made fun of him. We've trolled him for his off-field comments and his beliefs and all of that.
Everything except his game, though, that you can't troll.
That I agree, 100%. And let's show some love to Kyrie in today's episode. So Kyrie Irving, 60 points, ties the season high, the league season high. He gets a franchise record, most points in a half. All of that record, the most points that Brooklyn Nets have ever scored in a half, most points that Orlando Magic have ever conceded in a half, all kinds of records.
Yeah, I mean, the Brooklyn Nets franchise record doesn't really mean much. Oh, man.
And despite him scoring 50 points, it's incredibly frustrating to know that he's not eligible to play the next 3 games. In fact, Brooklyn Nets have 13 games left in the season, and Kyrie is eligible to play only 3 of those games. I'm absolutely torn. My mind is split about what to make of the situation. I mean, I want to blame Kyrie for this whole thing. I also want to blame the league and the rules for how ridiculous it is, because he's allowed to come and sit courtside. He's even allowed to go to the dressing room and they pay $50,000 for it. I don't know what to make about the whole thing. Should he be vaccinated and just go and play? Should he stand by his beliefs and then face the consequences of it, but deny us of watching such beautiful basketball? What's your stance on this?
Where do I begin unpacking? Let's start with the external factors. Mm-hmm. It is dumb as fuck, the rules and the policies that they have in place. And we have seen this the world over. Just ludicrous laws that apparently help control COVID, none of which I think have any statistical evidence that they do. It's just leaders having comfort that they're doing something and that they have something to show for it. We did we took ABC initiatives. It achieved XYZ outcomes. Doesn't matter if there's no correlation or cause and effect. We basically kept COVID at bay. I mean, it is nonsense. It's like the night curfews in India. You can't go out from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. because apparently that's the only time bad COVID comes out, and the rest of the day don't give a damn. It's hibernating. So it's dumb. And then comes the fact that forget that he's allowed to sit in the stands or that he's allowed to go, and apparently 50K is all you have to pay to go spread COVID. That's the fear, right? That he's unvaccinated, he can spread COVID. The most ludicrous part is he's unvaccinated and therefore cannot play home games. But any visiting team can field an unvaccinated player because they're not from the area of Brooklyn. So what, they can't bring the virus? Like, they have a screening mechanism where as soon as the flight enters Brooklyn airspace, it just, screens out the virus. It's like, it's just the dumbest laws, okay? So I get that. The laws are dumb as fuck. Kyrie doesn't make it easy for anyone. And it's no coincidence. If wherever he goes, Cleveland won a chip, LeBron James, the one teammate LeBron couldn't tame until he met Westbrook, goes out, all right? Leaves LeBron high and dry. LeBron somehow still gets to the finals, but just gets walloped in the finals, right? Goes to Boston, shambles. Like, he leaves the squad in shambles. It takes a bunch of very good draft picks to bring them back up. Says he'll stay, leaves, and that's why he got booed. It's not because he left. Just FYI, everyone. Like Boston's hostile, but they're not dumb. So he moves to where did he go next? Nets, right? From Boston, or did he park somewhere in between? Not just the Nets.
No, Nets.
Yeah, okay. Goes to the Nets, brings Kevin Durant with him, who probably otherwise would have probably gone to the Knicks or one of those teams. Mm-hmm. Most probably the Knicks, because they had a ton of cap space. And what a market to play in also, right? So brings Kevin Durant with him, convinces him that somehow we can make this magic thing happen. Comes out, says something as asinine as we don't need a coach for that damn good. Then these guys then get together and say, let's mortgage our entire future. Let's get James Harden. James Harden comes, plays excellently season 1. Now, he's another problem. That's another nutcase to deal with. In a team environment, he doesn't make it easy either. Because once he starts sulking, it's all the way. It's sulk all the way. The incredible sulk. Then Kyrie starts throwing his tantrums. Then the whole vaccine thing starts. Now he's not playing games. Now the load on Harden increases. KD gets injured. Now Harden's suddenly carrying a damn team. I wouldn't blame him if he looked around and thought, the hell am I doing? I'm back in the Houston Rockets, basically.
Yep.
With not as good a squad.
Yep.
And no GM who will go get me whatever I want. Because I am whatever they want. And they got me and there's no room left, right? He walks out high and dry. And a huge portion of that blame goes to Kyrie. The rest of it goes to Kevin Durant because you're the leader, you're the face. What the hell are you doing? Hanging on to this for friendship's sake. All said and done. This is why it is so frustrating to follow Kyrie Irving. He is one of those, maverick genius artists where you hate the personality or you find it weird. One or the other, but can't deny the magnificence of the art they produce.
Yep,
that's
absolutely.
it. That's the Kyrie life.
And like I said, we've made fun of his thoughts and beliefs and all of that. And when he goes onto the court, he plays like a genius, right? I mean, it's impossible to guard him. He's probably one of the best guards ever, not just now, but ever to play the game. His finishing in the paint is unparalleled, despite his size. This term that someone is a top 10 player or top 15 player, top 20 player gets thrown around quite frequently. You see Jason Tatum drop 50 points and somebody will say that he's a top 10 player. And then you count the number of top 10 players and you'll see that Jason Tatum lies somewhere in 15th, 18th, somewhere like that.
The number of players who can be given that badge, right? Yeah. Then
exactly. And now when you had to place Kyrie in such lists, and we can do a count if you want, where would Kyrie lie for you? How great is he, or how among current players? Let's exclude the ones who are injured. Kawhi Leonard,
guards are
overall. Right now, on form, whenever he plays, how good a player is he? Is he a top 10 player? Is he a top 15 player?
Who's better than Kyrie? That's the question, right? Are there 10 players better than Kyrie? I don't know if we'll get there. Let's say Embiid. Let's say Giannis.
Jokic.
Let's say Jokic, yeah. So these are the three, MVP front runners. They get wins and they get big numbers across the board.
Yep.
For argument's sake, let's throw in Luka there because he does more than one thing and he's also grinding out wins. All right. So
Kevin Durant.
4, KD, 5, right?
LeBron.
Keep going.
Well, he's still the league's leading scorer, or second at least.
Sure. So, and where is he on the table?
Well, Brooklyn Nets on the table.
But Kyrie only played like a small chunk of their games. The ones that
Kevin Durant, we put him in that.
Yeah. No. So LeBron, sure. So how many did we get to? 6?
Steph.
Yeah, I think that's 6.
No? Wow.
This season. We're talking about this season.
Yeah, he's still good. I mean, he's averaging 26 points, getting the assists, shooting above 40% like he always does.
Okay. Steph.
Ja Morant.
I wouldn't put CP3 or Booker above Kyrie. So we have 7 at Steph.
Ja Morant.
Better than Kyrie? I don't know. So let's say Kyrie occupies one spot. Right? Let's see who pushes him out. Let's put Kyrie at the 10 for now.
Okay.
So you got what? 8 now? 8 players. You got 2 spots left. 2 spots.
Ja Morant.
Okay. Ja Morant. Sure.
Tatum?
Nope. No Tatum, no Trae Young, no Brown, no.
No Trae Young?
No. Yeah, you're telling me Trae Young is better than Kyrie right now?
No.
Can he grind out wins like Kyrie? Are you serious?
Nope, he's not. I know he might drop 40 for next 10
Kyrie could never give up the ball and he'll be better than Trae Young. Forget the assists, right? That's
true.
Kyrie is more Kobe. Kyrie is actually more Kobe than anyone else. He's the kind of guy that will win you a game with his scoring. He's not going to do much else. Of course, Kobe also defended. Kyrie doesn't even do that. But he'll get you those wins, right? So, so we've got 2 spots still, I guess, right?
DeRozan, Tatum, the 2.
No Tatum. DeRozan, sure. This season, yes, why not?
Yeah, he's having a fantastic year, right? I mean, if he's an all-time top 10, no, that will be difficult to put him in there. If he's going to remain in this spot, it remains to be seen. It could be an aberration year.
Yeah, so you've got...
Then he's earned it.
So you've got one more. And then we get into who's there that can knock Kyrie off of that list.
Karl Anthony Towns?
Fuck no. Are you serious? Just because he dropped 50. I know he's had a good season, but fuck no.
Good season.
Hell no. Fuck off. You can't have... So one-dimensional players have to be phenomenal and they have to be that at the offensive end. One-dimensional and defensive, bad era to be in. This is in the 90s. We don't have, Rodman and that.
Agreed. I'm just throwing out names. I mean, he might or might not. Butler, Jimmy Butler. He hasn't played enough. Yeah, he hasn't played enough.
Even if he has, are you serious? We're saying no to Trae Young, but we'll put Jimmy Butler in the list.
Donovan Mitchell.
Nope.
SGA.
Okay, to make it to the top 10, right? One more spot. Or let's say we put Donovan Mitchell there. Okay, cool.
Okay.
SGA, why you say now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel now? SGA,
Yeah,
SGA.
I'm just thinking team. I'm going by the order.
You're
of team
two names away from Halliburton.
Yeah,
like,
Sabonis.
I knew Sabonis had to come up if I said Halliburton.
No, I won't put Sabonis in the top 10.
Wins. None of these guys get wins.
Yep.
Okay, let me look at the standings. I feel like we're now scraping the bottom of the barrel. Let's see if that gives us any inspiration. Miami Heat, nobody, hardly anyone there. Bucks, there was one guy and we named him. 76ers. Oh, James Harden.
Oh, yeah, James Harden.
We didn't bring up the beard yet.
He's played well.
He sucked this season. No, has he played well? He's played well in a few games for Philly.
Yeah, he has the numbers. He hasn't played well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, sure. Yes. And even in the Brooklyn Nets, most of the time he was sulking. And we're rating people not on ability, we're rating them on performance.
Yep.
So, yeah. So,
no, I wouldn't put James Harden.
Yeah.
Top 10 maybe, but above Kyrie.
Top 10, sure. So you're saying Donovan Mitchell's out there.
Difficult. No, I think Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, not this season at least, right? So no.
Yep.
So James Harden's gone. So that's kind of, that rules out the Philly Sixers. The Bulls, we've already included DeRozan. I think that list stops there. There's really no. Celtics, we said no to Tatum. Can't really look at anyone else. Tatum, by the way, if Donovan Mitchell's in, does Tatum deserve to be out?
I think Tatum deserves a pick over Mitchell.
Okay.
Especially because how he's led the team.
I don't care as long as Kyrie's in. I'm arguing my stance is Kyrie's there in the top 10. So cool.
I agree.
Mitchell's out, Tatum's in. All right.
Tatum's in. Yep.
Cavs, nobody that makes this list.
Nah, not Garland, not Mobley.
Raptors, same thing. Great players, nobody makes this list. Brooklyn Nets, we've covered. Hawks, we've covered. Hornets, nobody. Now we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Wizards, Knicks, please. Indiana, stop it. Detroit, Orlando, just go home. We're done with the East. Look at the West now, right? Phoenix, we already ruled out CP3 and Booker from this list. They're amazing as a unit.
As a duo, they're great, but individually, not the top.
Not quite. Yeah, not quite. But that's also a testament to the quality of the team they have, that there's not a lot of carry jobs being performed by either of them because the team's so good. Everyone plays their role. We put in Ja Morant, right? We've already included Ja Morant. Golden State, we've exhausted, unless you want to consider Wiggins. I don't know.
Draymond?
No.
It's like one-dimensional again. Like
we said not to cat, but we'll include Draymond. Really.
I mean, what Draymond brings to the table is intangible, but top 10
to his team. We're talking about like skill.
I haven't seen him play with anyone else apart from Steph, right? So
exactly. He's immense to their team, but is he immense without Steph? We've seen him without Steph.
They won 15 games last season.
So bad. So there's that. There's a lot of codependence going on, a lot of bromancing happening there. Utah Jazz, we've run through them. Dallas Mavericks, unless you want to consider Dinwiddie or something, we're done. Right? Then you have the Nuggets done. Timberwolves, like they have a lot of talented players. Nobody who makes this list. Like Bankman, everyone's good. D'Lo. But nobody makes this list, not even Pat Bev, surprisingly. Shocker. Then now you're scraping the bottom of the barrel because you get to the LA teams. So Clippers, they're on their ass.
Clippers, if on regularly fit Clippers would have PG and cover.
Yeah, you'd consider them, but they're on their ass as usual, on the sidelines or in a hospital somewhere. So they're done. Lakers, we've included the one guy we could. Everyone else has either not performed or have ceased.
Not available.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Davis.
Yeah, or both like Anthony Davis. And then the Pelicans, please. Trailblazers, stop it. Right? And then Spurs, Kings, Thunder, Rockets. So hence proved. Like who? Sengun is going to replace Kyrie. That's it. So there's your top 10. And it's almost without dispute. In no particular order, that's your top 10.
Of course. Yeah. So when I say Kyrie is a top 10 player right now,
he legit is.
It's not exaggeration.
It's not hyperbole. It's not hyperbole.
Interesting. All right, that has a good ring to it, I would say. And Brooklyn Nets now have two players in the top 10. I think they're the only team that we have two.
You know what doesn't have a good ring to it? The Brooklyn Nets. Not one ring. Not one. Not in New Jersey, not in Brooklyn. Not one ring.
So Brooklyn Nets are the only team that have two top 10 talents in it.
Yeah.
Now, when are we going to take the Brooklyn Nets seriously? I mean,
when they take themselves seriously, man.
Okay, let's
play your game.
Kyrie Irving plays 3 games. If they're playing home, given where they're going to finish, they're probably going to play 4 games at home. So why would you not consider them as favorite? Let's say the Bucks aside.
But where would they finish? Are they going to get home court advantage guaranteed? I don't think they're going to finish that high up, right? Yeah.
Nope, they'll finish 7th or 8th. So
yeah, but that's good for them because then it's 4 games away. Yeah,
exactly.
Should it go that far?
Yes, exactly. So this is one of the teams that have a better away advantage than a home advantage. So Brooklyn Nets, apart from the Milwaukee Bucks, they can beat any other team. And
Absolutely.
do you see that as a possibility? They can beat the Heat, they can beat the Sixers, they can beat the Celtics. And is there a chance that we will get to see the Brooklyn Nets in the Eastern Finals this time?
There should be every chance that they get to the finals. I'm picking them over the 76ers also. There's one big piece we are not considering in all of this is if they can get Ben Simmons back healthy defending. That is immense. Yep. It's like the Bucks getting Drew suddenly.
Yep.
That is a huge move, right? So I would pick them over everyone except the Bucks. Even the Bucks, if they have this home away thing going, and against the Bucks, of course, they're going to play more games away than home, which isn't a bad thing for them. The thing about the Bucks is in a lot of big series, they have this tendency to start poor and then kind of claw their way back in,
right?
Which means there could be at least one home game wasted.
Yep.
One away game wasted in Brooklyn where Kyrie's not playing. They could probably drop one. And now in their home games, they've got Kyrie in the building. Kyrie doesn't give a fuck about hostile crowds. I mean, he's gone most of his life with his own crowd being hostile, right? So he doesn't give a damn.
The whole world is hostile to Kyrie. So
he doesn't give a damn about hostile crowds. He'll do what he does. Kevin Durant also, I think, has reached a level of maturity where he performs no matter what. That's going to be tricky, but that'd be a series for the ages if everyone's fit in that tournament.
Yep, we were denied that series last season. I mean, we had a great series still with Kevin Durant and Giannis.
Yeah, it was amazing. But this is something else.
We were denied James Harden being fully fit and Kyrie being fit. That would have been even more better, I would say.
Yeah, and me personally, I know James Harden was denied a proper series. That series, he was just like a body on the court for even, especially the last few games, but a decoy at best. But for me, missing a fully fit prime James Harden doesn't hurt as much as missing Kyrie in any playoff series because he is lights out.
Yep,
I don't get that same vibe from James Harden in the playoffs. It just doesn't happen.
Agreed. Kyrie is not scared to take the big shots. He's not scared
to perform. He's a sight to behold in the playoffs, man.
Exactly. Agreed. I'm looking at the table right now. The Cavs are in 6th place and they're just 3.5 games, 3 games above the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
The Raptors are just 1.5 game behind the Cavs. And do you see a possibility that the Cavs will drop out? Because if they drop out, the problem is they'll have to face the Brooklyn Nets for that 7th, 8th spot. And you'll expect Brooklyn Nets to win that.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to face probably Atlanta Hawks for the last spot. And that's going to get tricky because Trae Young is going to want to be in the playoffs.
I'd pick Trae Young any day over that Cavs unit.
Yeah, he's done that before. So I fear that the Cavs might not even be in the playoffs after such a brilliant start. And we were putting them almost at the top of the East, right? Few injuries and they're down the barrel.
Roll back to about 25 days ago when I said I am not getting hyped over half a season's performance from any team, including the Cavs. Only too often it happens that they capitulate in the second half, where this is about as far as the squad can go. And it's exciting. It's not bad for them. It means next season is going to be great. But this season, maybe the best is already behind them. And they've significantly overachieved through injuries, through players missing entire seasons, through inexperience, through a patchwork kilt of a squad. They've still done this is mighty impressive. And they're just there sitting for a big time free agent to come and say, this is my show.
Absolutely. I think the Cavs have been one of the more entertaining teams this season.
Yeah.
But I think it's about time. The Raptors are going to leapfrog them for sure.
Yeah.
I don't see them beating the Nets.
Deservedly so.
The Hawks. Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll see the Cavs in the playoffs. It's a hard take. I was rooting for them, but I don't see that happening.
Who cares? We get Toronto in the playoffs. I love Toronto in the playoffs.
Toronto are amazing.
Something happens to them in the playoffs, they just find another guess.
They're gonna give a tough fight to whoever they are. I think right now they play the Celtics or the Sixers in 3rd spot. I think they'll give them a fight. It's not going to be a walkover where you go and win 4 games straight. It's not going to happen.
I have a good feeling we're talking about all these teams. And then imagine if Miami just does what they do and
shut up everyone. We are the top
just
seed.
rip through 2 series and go to the finals.
That's
may
gonna be
just
fun.
happen. Yeah,
it could. I mean,
absolutely.
Miami would play Cavs or the Hawks in the first round.
Yeah,
They could beat them.
yeah. My only concern is I don't see them beating the big three. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Bucks who's stopping Giannis,
Yeah.
Embiid. They in every one of those matchups they have a size problem at the 5.
Yep.
Or the 4 or wherever the best player on the other team is playing. Who the hell is guarding KD? So, by the way, again, their defense, you keep talking about their defense. We had like 4 games today, right?
Mhm.
The scoring was nuts in each of these games. Like 150,
Yep.
2 teams I think dropped 150. One other team dropped 135.
Yep.
The only
Memphis,
team in all 8 that dropped under 100 was playing against the Miami Heat.
Of course.
Just-
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
All right.
All right, then. That's all on today's episode. Great matchup today. The Celtics play the Warriors, 2 of the best defenses in the league. Warriors will be keen to take that best defensive team tag from the Celtics, and Draymond is back, so that should be a matchup for the ages. That's something I'll be watching. But that's all on today's episode. As usual, great fun talking to you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers.